know if they can hear us on their end. Greek Live, can you hear us?
Richard Abricolai,
Yes.
can you hear us? Yes? No? I don't think. I don't think we've got audio.
Yeah, it looks like we're muted.
Okay, looks like they can hear us. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Can you hear us?
All right, now we've got it. All right, great, thank you. We had a little sound check situation. So we got the Conservation Commission meeting for April 9th. We'll do a roll call in a second. Anybody who is looking for the Finance Committee meeting, they are on the third floor, and if you are looking for the Zoom link, they had to republish one, and that's on the town website. So that is just a little public service, FYI. So with that, we'll do roll call, and maybe to spice it up, we'll start with Richard on Zoom.
Yeah, Richard's here.
All right, good.
Louis Puga.
Mark LePage.
Michael Ryan.
Roger Trahan.
Nicole Chiaramonte.
Matthew Stoltz.
All right, great. So that's roll call. Before we get into the public hearings, we are just going to do one quick piece of general business. We do have flexibility within the agenda to address general business. We're going to do the permit modification for 160 Maple Street. Andrew, looks like you are with us.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, doing all right. How's everyone doing? I appreciate you guys accommodating to kind of going out of sequence here.
Yep. Well, so we got the plans in. Thank you for that.
Okay. Here I can share just so there's a copy of it that everyone can see as well. Let's see, share here. Okay. All right, everyone should be able to see my screen now.
Yep.
So I know the other week we talked through this plan of a temp road or access way through the south part of the 160 Maple Street solar project. The difference from the past couple weeks to this week, we have actually gone out and got a drawing put together from a civil engineer. He's put a stamped plan together to accommodate this work. What doing this process did, when it really, he's able to pull in where the wetlands exactly take place to scale here. And what he did was he put together a plan to put in a new 8-inch concrete culvert into the wetlands area to divert the water from the area of the wetlands that it is now, and then for us to go in, put a gravel base, and then to do the Megadex road on top of it. So what this would ultimately do is pick up the water before it gets into or gets affected by the temp road situation, and then it would divert it ahead of time so that it doesn't obviously continue on in any other direction. So that is the intent for this plan here. And then additionally on top of this, I went ahead and documented a bunch of the existing conditions of what this area looks like today, so that we can all together, if all things go as planned, come back to these photos and then say this is what it looked like ahead of time. And obviously the plan would be this is, once again, it's just a temporary road for access way. So when we're all said and done with the temporary access way, we would come through, we would remove all of the gravel base that we installed. We would remove the concrete culvert, and then we would continue to utilize this space here.
Okay.
When you're not on camera.
Any,
So I can go
any questions?
back to the plan here. If anyone has any additional questions that they wanted to possibly roll through, Another thing that they add, I know I mentioned it on the call the other week, but they added in additional erosion control plans are here as well, the erosion control barrier. So we will do additional erosion control through this area.
Gravel sounds like a big change from last week. I thought we were just putting mats down.
Well, the mats, they need a structural base for the mats to sit down, and it needs to be a solid surface area. The gravel base is what you would put down so that the mats could have a structurally sound place. If you put it directly on the dirt over time, when trucks go over it, you know, it'll start to move and it won't sit well.
So
When I say we're putting down a gravel base, you know, we're only going to do as much as we have to. We're not going to try to build this thing up 2 feet and try to make it a huge ramp or anything. We would only put enough gravel down so that it was a structurally sound, you know, roadway that could be accessible.
how
That makes
tough is it to pull the gravel back out of there?
It's not a difficult process. You know, it would involve having some bobcats go through there, lay down the base, and then you know, we would have, you know, labor force around the area too. They can pick it up with shovels for what the equipment can't pick up.
Is it,
It's not pretty easy with a machine, and you can repair the base with whatever they're gonna do. It's pretty well standard operating procedure if we put that down. If you don't do that,
okay,
those pads are gonna wobble all over the place and sink and not be stable.
Yep.
Just to level it, and just, yeah, I get it.
But then how much embedding from the gravel is, I mean, how much is that gonna be embedded into the soil? How much soil are you gonna be removing when you pull the gravel up?
It's hard to say exactly, but it would be as minimal as possible. I would think maybe 6 inches, if that. And then you build up the gravel base.
So are you saying you remove soil, lay down the gravel base, and then the pads go on top?
The area where you would have to do some degree of removing a little bit of the grade on this side over here. If I zoom in, this is all imported dirt that was dropped here from the golf course previously. So you would cut a couple of inches off the top of this base, of this top layer over here, and then you would obviously put it back within with the gravel to make it a steady, flat area so that equipment could be able to drive through.
Nikolai, looked like you had a comment?
Yeah, I'm happy to wait if other commissioners have comments.
Okay.
But, so this new proposal is very different from perhaps a minor permit modification. I will say that if you were to install timber mats, you actually don't need a gravel base necessarily. You could-
We've actually looked into that option too,
Yep.
and that was something I was also going to bring up and propose today. I know we already proposed the mega deck.
No.
The timber, I'm more than happy to use that as well.
My preference would be the timber, so you don't have the gravel, because now we're getting into different size of gravel, and if you do have to mobilize and use equipment in there, our preference is hand shoveling, and then, you know, you get into labor force issues. So I think timber mats would probably be easier. I do have I appreciate you expanding on the topsoil removal, that it's actually upland, it's not wetland soils.
Correct, yep.
So that's important, but that pipe is a concern of mine too. So you are cutting off the hydraulic connection between both sides of the wetland by diverting water. That's a much larger impact as well.
Okay,
So if you use the alternative, what was it, the timber matting and not gravel, do you still need to divert the water? Or was that to accommodate the gravel?
that was more to accommodate the gravel. I can look into the different sizing of the timber matting. If you use timber matting, you should be able to span that gap. You can buy timber matting in 20-foot lengths, and it would lay across that area.
Yes, you're right.
So that plan, honestly, it works better in my favor too. That is a cheaper option. So I'm definitely willing to go in that direction as well.
So timber matting, no gravel, no culvert changing the direction of the water, right?
Sure.
Okay. That's what.
The timber matting is it's just another alternative. It's another path you can take.
Yeah.
Right. It does the same idea. It's really just so you can get equipment into that area.
I like the idea of the timber matting a lot better than the other stuff.
Yeah.
You can use it to bridge over everything. It bridges very nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's a cheaper option, so I'm definitely happy to do it. So
That's what you should have promoted in the first place then.
I discovered the Megadex product first, and that's what I went with. So I'm happy to use the timber as well.
So commissioners, if it behooves you, and I don't mean to interrupt your process either, what you could do is you could approve this permit modification, ensuring that timber mats are used, add a condition that any rutting would be smoothed out upon removal of timber mats. This wetland area can be monitored, right, to ensure resuccession. And then you can condition that the specs for timber mats is approved by me at a later date. That way, Andrew does not have to wait another 2 weeks to come in front of you. If you are comfortable with that, giving me the admin approval.
I think that makes sense.
I like that idea.
So Andrew, we're approving the permit modification for the use of the timber mat at that crossing, excluding any gravel additions to the site, eliminating the 8-inch RCP culvert and any redirection of the water or the wetlands. Any rutting to be smoothed out, the condition of the wetlands to be monitored, and the conditions of the wetland be returned to the state as indicated in these pictures after the timber matting is removed, and we'd be given Bricolai admin authority to approve the timber matting. So that's what would be on the table if you're comfortable with it.
Yes, I'm happy to come to those terms, and I'm willing to work with that.
Okay. Everybody good with that? All right.
I'm good.
All right. Matt, you want to give us a motion to approve the permit modification as stated?
I will give you a motion to approve the permit modification as stated.
Second?
All right.
Approve.
Approved?
Approved.
Approve? Richard?
Approve.
All right. That was productive. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
All right.
Just so for my clarity, is a verbal okay? Do I need to wait for any kind of written format or anything?
You'll get a permit modification in the mail, but there isn't an appeal period for a permit modification, so you can move forward.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Send me those specs first.
Yes, we'll
Actually,
do.
Andrew, we had one last question. I'm sorry.
So we have a plan, but that's not the plan that we're going with. Is that a problem?
Oh, the document?
So the footprint's gonna be the same, right? So you're
Yes.
just basically you're using the same footprint, just different material at this point.
Correct.
Just the
Yep.
stones and the pipe.
And we indicated the RCP culvert
Yeah.
would be eliminated.
Okay.
Everything, yeah, and this would be timber mat. So, are you good with that?
I'm good with that, if we all are.
Okay.
And then I have the admin authority assistant. I have that approval gifted from you guys to approve whatever he sends me. So that would make the permit modification complete, to answer your question.
Yeah.
Thank
she'll-
you.
she'll-
Yeah, no, it's better to be
Yeah.
safe. Okay, thanks, Andrew.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
All right,
All
take
right.
care.
So now we'll move on to our public hearings. The first one we have is an NOI for Nicholas Drive Prospect Street culvert repair. We did get a note, they've been out there doing the survey, actually saw some folks out there. We don't have any new information beyond that, so I would assume we're continuing. I don't know if there's anybody here, Derek or anybody else from the Nicholas Drive Prospect Street culvert repair. Okay, any public comments, Zoom in chambers? Okay. So with that, Nicole, would you like to give us a motion to continue the NOI for Nicholas Drive Prospect Street culvert repair to the 23rd, right? At 7:01.
Right.
I give a motion to continue the NOI for Nicholas Drive, Prospect Street culvert repair for April 23rd at 7:01.
Second.
All right, go around the horn.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue?
Continue.
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 Richard?
Vote to continue.
All right, motion's continued. Next, we've got NOI for Symphony Drive, Tanglewood Estates 2.
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Hey, Bill?
Let's see if I can. Hi, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Buckley from Bay Colony Group.
Hey, Bill?
How are you? And I'm here to represent the applicant Cypress Development.
Great. So,
So,
go ahead, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I'm ready. I was
Oh.
ready to listen.
Okay, so, last time we met, you had you commented on the beta peer review, which we had not gotten in time to take a look at, so we've taken a look at that, and there are a few discussion points we did want to go through on that. So we'll go with that. For that, any questions from any of the commissioners in particular? Okay. So, a few things that I don't believe we caught during our last discussion, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. The way the erosion controls are going to be installed, or the vegetation clearing is going to happen, or the installation of the lawn is going to happen, are there any impacts to the 25 to 50-foot buffer zone based on any of that work that's going to be performed?
There is no impact in the 25. If I could share my screen,
That'd be great.
I'm going to put up sheet 4. If you have that in front of you. And let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see this is one of the things we talked about at our last two meetings is to remove any of the permanent activity outside of the buffer zone.
Right.
The 50-foot buffer. We never had anything in the 25. So we removed the lawn. You can see this is the 50-foot right here. So the only portion where there's erosion control is right here at the bottom, and that is to protect when we're building the basin. You can see the slope of the basement, toe of it stops right here at the 50-foot. But some of the erosion control does go into it, but we don't need to clear anything in there.
So there'll be.
There's nothing in the 25.
Okay. So some impact of the installation of the erosion control in that area, okay. I mean, I would think that you're going in from the non-buffer zone side to do all that installation, but we just wanted to confirm, right?
Yes.
So, so we got that small portion down at the bottom of that basin, okay. So we settled the comment around the existing and proposed vegetation, right? The tree line is the red line on the plans, we agreed to that. Same with the depicting the tree line, we agreed that that was gonna indicate the limit of work. So that sock that's located in the 25 to 50, what's on the inside of that again? I know you just described that, but can you just review that again? Is that's that slope, right, coming out of the?
Right. So here's the basin. We're filling, as you know, we've talked about in the past, this is the side of the hill. So in order to create a relatively flat area for the basin in the front of the house, there will be a slope in the back. But we stopped the slope at the 50, and then, you know, but you're correct, we'll be working along from the top, filling it, and then, but we do need some space in order to, just to work. You're just never going to be able to work right to the edge there.
No, so is that going to be lawn in there, or what are your plans for that space? We talked about.
So what we talked about before was this area is going to be lawn, and then we were going to put sedges along the slope here and along the slope here, that was the outflow from the basin. So the way I took my notes last week was, or 2 weeks ago, we wanted some plantings at the bottom of the outflow, and then another comment was brought up, well, can we put some on there along that slope? And I said, yeah, of course.
Right, so we're looking, all right, so no lawn, but and we did talk about that, you're agreeable to sedges being planted down there. Okay, so that's.
Along that slope too, yes.
Yeah, no lawn at the bottom of that slope, okay. Yeah, we talked about getting the native seed mix listed on the plans, we could condition that, we wanted to get away
Yes.
from the Jonathan Green Black Beauty. The plans had listed all the species we talked about in that screening planting. Are you, I think you were gonna pick one species, is that accurate? So I guess the question is, could we get specifically what the species that's gonna be planted is, get a schedule for the plantings, and then we do need to get the Latin names added.
Okay, yeah, we can pick one, I will coordinate that before we do that.
Or pick two, I'm not saying it has to be one, but I think those were just all the options. So if we could just understand which specific one or ones you're gonna use, and then the schedule and the Latin
Okay.
names.
So we could, you know, we also said we would do a planting plan that including the common name and the Latin name.
Yep.
And when we do that, we'll
Okay,
just include the numbers as well and where they're gonna be going.
okay.
Do we have some idea of what we want to see there,
Yeah, we
rather than have,
gave
should
them
we-
like
yeah.
four or five options.
Rika's shaking her head. Perhaps we should just say we'd like X, Y, and Z and put it in there.
Well, we did, but we
That's
gave them
fine.
like four options, and they're all
Just
listed on.
tell me what you want and we'll put it in there.
So Brika Lai, do you want to pick?
The list that I had provided 2 meetings ago, Bill, is that, those would be my suggestions. I am gonna punt it back to you based on your budget or your client's budget. So any of them are fine, you know. I like holly would maintain its leaf, you know, year round. I know there was a comment about the dogwood, but for the first few years, dogwood would provide screening. You know, it does have wildlife browse. It is very pretty. So you could do both, right? So you get a high-low stratified layer, level, what have you. I do think perhaps narrowing it down from the 5 or so that I gave you is okay, but in your planting plan, and again, the commission can condition and has historically conditioned that you provide me a planting plan, location, size, you know, common name, Latin name, stereotypical planting plan, and I can do an admin approval for it.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Sounds good.
There we go. All right, we talked about the sedges. One comment that came up was about a 4-inch PVC drain pipe that may be associated with the neighboring home. Beta would recommend having that pipe cut by hand at the property boundary. Is that something you guys are comfortable with, Bill?
Am I missing something?
I don't know, Franklin, I don't know if they left. Give me one moment, you guys. We have another meeting going on upstairs, and I know Franklin TV was having a problem.
Is Bill?
And I don't see that, I don't,
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I think all three of us, Richard Johnson, Bill Buckley, and myself are here, but I think commissioners.
I think we lost the rest of them.
I think we lost the rest of them.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can.
Give me just 1 second.
I guess they can't hear us, yes.
Oh,
Hmm.
Oh, apparently they can hear us.
Yeah, we can hear you, but
You can hear us.
yeah.
What could go wrong?
Okay. Well, you're just a black screen for us.
Can you hear anything, or no?
No, I cannot hear you.
Okay. All right, give us a second, we'll
All right.
get that working.
Do you want to take a recess?
That's a good idea. So it's
All right.
7:28, we'll take a 5-minute recess. Okay.
Is that-
All right. Apologies, Bill. We're going to take a brief recess, if that's all right. Well, we can wait for the recording to come up, but next week I'm actually pretty busy in general, so we could just do a phone call if we need to chat further.
Okay.
Hmm.
I have half a mind to text Jamie and let him know that his finance committee meeting wrecked my Concom meeting.
That'd be a good idea.
Right? Do you think that would go over well?
Oh, yeah.
I already thanked him for gifting us council chambers back. Thank you. Usually we get the boot.
Yeah, I know, you're right. But you could have left us some sound.
Yeah, right. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
It's all right. Well, I got nowhere else to be anyways. I don't know.
I'm in this chair with my foot up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm not going anywhere. And we had just a good idea, too. That's too bad.
I know. Oh, there's an echo effect too. Maybe we stop talking.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Oh, how about now?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on, we gotta be.
7:30, we got one more minute, and then we're back at it. Under the,
Oh, you're back.
yeah, hi.
Yeah,
Huzzah!
yeah.
We got about 30 seconds before the stated recess is over, and then we can soldier on. Oh, we got 7:33, that's 5 minutes, all right.
Recording in
Recording
progress.
is resumed. All right. So, Bill, you can hear us?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, so, did you get my last question about the 4-inch PVC drain pipe, or would you like me to repeat that?
I didn't hear anything, no, I didn't hear that.
Okay. So one of the comments Beta had made was about a 4-inch PVC drain pipe that may be associated with a neighboring home. Beta recommended maybe we cut this pipe by hand at the property boundary. Is that something you guys would be comfortable executing?
That makes no sense. We'd have to dig down probably 4 feet to cut it by hand. I mean, we'll knock it off. We've already said we'll take it out. But, you know, what does it matter if we're cutting it by hand?
So, all right, so it's 4 feet down?
Well, it's, let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's about 4 feet down. You know, maybe 3 feet down at the property line.
So, is it exposed or?
Yeah, it's exposed at like elevation 284, and the property line is maybe 287. So I would have to cut down, I have to dig down by hand and then cut it. I mean, that whole area is the grass. It's the neighbor has gone onto this property at some point and grassed it. So it's not like it's anything pristine. You can
Okay.
see, let me share again, and we can kind of look at it together. Let's see.
So this is a pipe the neighbor put in?
Yes, well, somebody put it in.
Yeah, that's unclear, I think.
Drain pipe, or
What's that?
is it a drain pipe?
And you s-
Apparently, right? I don't think that's determined, but likely, right? I think is the,
Can we, so can you, so I can, this is what we're talking about here. There's like a 4-inch drain pipe.
Yeah.
It's coming from this direction, don't know what it goes to, I don't know if it's roof, foundation, or what. But you can see this is the wood line already. This has already been all cleared, and it's grassed through here. So, you know, and if you wanted me to cut it down, you can see the invert is about elevation 284. There's the 284 contour. And if it's coming up to the property line here, that would be like 286, 287. So I'd have to dig down 3 feet to cut it by hand. I assume that the reason they want me to cut it by hand is to minimize disturbance, but the whole area is disturbed.
What are we asking her to cut this off for?
Something your consultant asked for.
Well, and what do we gain from that? I mean, the pipe's existing, it drains there. If you cut it off at the property line, the bloody thing's still going to drain. So,
I could read Beta's comment into the record if you would like.
yeah,
Okay.
that's great. I was just looking
I was
for it,
just
but if
looking.
you've got it,
It's,
So erosion controls are now depicted on sheet 4. It is Beta comment 2 for A2. Beta 2A, A2,
oh, I went
yeah.
too far. Okay, thanks.
Right. Yeah, it's on page 5 of 10. Erosion controls are now depicted on sheet 4. However, outside of the erosion control boundary within the 50 to 100-foot buffer zone, a 4-inch PVC drain pipe is proposed for removal. Based on the location of the pipe, this may be a drainage pipe associated with the neighboring home. Although protection of neighboring home drainage is not under the commission purview, the applicant should consider cutting this pipe at the property boundary using hand tools. This would allow the applicant to remove the pipe from their property and presumably allow the abutters to maintain drainage. So I think what Beta's getting at is now with development of these new properties and you're gonna have a homeowner moving in here, you have a stormwater trespass.
Okay. But
So,
but you're cutting it off at the property line. Whatever is draining out of there is going to continue to drain.
And
Correct,
I think
but-
that's what we're trying to maintain, because I think, Bill, you guys are proposing to totally remove the pipe, right? I should have articulated this better, I was looking for the comment. You're saying totally remove the pipe, which, Richard, to your point, you know, it sounds like a neighbor's got this draining something, and we're gonna remove the pipe not only on the project's property, but on the neighbor's property, and he's gonna lose his ability to drain whatever he's draining through this pipe. So our recommendation is we want to get it off the applicant's property, that they cut it, and then they don't have it on their property, but the neighbor can maintain the part that's on their property. Right, I think that's the spirit of the request.
Yeah, but it's,
It'll still drain.
so we're gonna dig down
Their
3 feet and cut it by hand. God knows why we're gonna do that. And then plug the pipe? No?
No, it would continue to, I mean, it's a conversation, right?
Continue to drain, so we're gonna backfill the hole with a pipe that's draining in there, so now we have a nice, you have the potential for a nice big mess. You got a hole that's gonna fill up with water, or if you backfill it, why wouldn't we leave the pipe the way it is?
Well, the applicant's proposed removing it, right?
The applicant?
Correct.
We've only proposed it in order to answer the consultant's comment. Otherwise, we would just leave it there.
Okay.
Because
Why
it's,
wouldn't you just leave it there?
yeah, because even if we cut it off and broke it, let's say it's a roof drain, which it
Sure.
probably is, it's still gonna flow in that direction. You can see where the topo is. So, you know, it's a nice thought, but it really, just in my opinion, not something the commission needs to get into and let the neighbors work it out together. I think they're already working
It's in
it
the
out.
buffer zone.
I do like that idea, Bill, but do you know how many calls I get where my neighbor has a drainage pipe that goes on my property? What can I do? It's incessant. So to me, this is actually, for a new homeowner that's coming in here that doesn't know what this is, who's to say that that new homeowner isn't gonna bust that pipe? So it is a stormwater trespass. I get having to dig down, I understand the by hand, is to minimize impact, Richard, it's not to create more of an issue, it's just to minimize impact, it's a standard suggestion. But I will say, I mean, I don't know, I punt it back to you, commissioners, if it is in the buffer zone, it is jurisdictional to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah. I didn't realize, Bill, that you guys were only proposing removing it because of Beta's comment. I thought your proposal was to remove it to begin with. So again, it's a conversation. It's not the end of the world, but again, it could be a little preventative medicine, right? I mean, letting the neighbors settle it themselves. I don't know, man. That story doesn't always end super well, so I don't know if that's like the great solution.
Well, according to Brick Light, if this becomes an issue between neighbors
That's
down the
what I'm
line,
saying.
so
Right.
if we maintain it as it is, potentially you can have, we're gonna have some calls, because there's things like this that have occurred within the town, so do we assume that they're not gonna reach out to each other, or just gonna, it's not gonna be an issue?
Good assumption.
You're crossing, and I think if I'm getting this, it's crossing their property line, so you have the existing property has a drain pipe that's crossing the new property, the developed property, so already, there's kind of like they're blowing their drainage out to not their property.
You're effectively
so-
plugging their drain pipe.
Yeah.
No, you would just, it would be on the applicant to make sure that the applicant should work it out with the neighbor. Truthfully.
Yeah. True.
instead of neighbor versus neighbor, Concom versus neighbor.
Plus the removal would be impacting the 50 to 100 foot, right? So that's a factor, but maybe that's not a bad solution, is, Bill, maybe the move is, if you guys, since you're talking about well, I guess first off, I'd say leaving it as is seems like not the way to go, because I think we're punting or kicking the can down the road that's gonna be a problem. So then it becomes a question, are we recommending removing it? I do think the neighbor whose land this pipe is primarily on ought to be consulted before removal.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we've got to consider impact in the 50 to 100 foot buffer zone. But if the neighbor says, hey, pull it out, I don't know, I guess that could be a path forward. I mean, that's a thought, right? I mean, Richard, you got opinion on that?
Yeah, I do, but you guys won't like it.
It's all right. That's why I asked you. You're always good for the counterpoint.
Digging down and cutting that without plugging it is just, if there is any water coming out of it, it's just gonna make a little mud puddle over there. You're just going to have a place where you've got a 3-foot hole that's gonna fill up with mud and water.
But
Unless you put a plug in it, which you don't seem to be inclined to tell them to do that, because
They could, I mean, at that
you
point.
could put a plug, is that what we want to tell them to do?
So
Well,
I would think,
now-
go ahead, Rigalai.
I was gonna say that the issue is that the applicant, so one, if it's already grassed there, that means probably that existing homeowner has extended their property line,
Bingo.
at least to them, right? So now we have a pipe that I have no notion of, by the way, that's in jurisdiction, that discharges to a wetland. It is a single-family home, so stormwater doesn't apply, but now it's going to discharge on someone's new property. What happens when they stop maintaining it at the discharge point, or they stop seeding? Now you're gonna have vegetation erosion, you're gonna have soil erosion. Who knows what comes out of that pipe? It might just be a trickle.
Yeah.
But now we're getting into property owner versus property owner. And again, I will get the phone call and I'll have to mediate that. So instead, I think what Beta is saying is get that pipe that has nothing to do with this project or this new property owner, get it off the property, put it on the other property owner. And I think, to be fair, again, that should be applicant versus neighbor instead of Concom versus neighbor or neighbor versus neighbor.
Or maybe the less egregious proposal to Richard's point is we just have the applicant propose to the neighbor that it be plugged, right?
Yep, and then the neighbor has to figure out their new system
Yeah.
to discharge whatever they have.
So Bill, I mean, that sounds better to me than removing the pipe, because then we're not doing a whole lot of work in the 50 to 100, right? Pulling this thing out.
Well, it's still property.
And you don't have to hand dig the hole, you can bring in a little backhoe and dig it. Good Lord.
That pipe belongs to somebody, so if they're cutting it, then that's disturbing somebody's
So
personal property. So
A hundred-
I think that it should be the applicant talking to the homeowner.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying is, but we're not talking about cutting anymore, we're just talking about plugging it, but having the applicant ask the neighbor who owns the majority of the pipe if they're comfortable with that pipe.
They should tell them to plug it,
Yeah.
because who knows what's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah, no, that's kind of the proposal. So
Yeah.
is that,
Yeah. And how much, what's the length of the pipe that's over on, you know, like that's extended onto the other property?
I think it's underground, so I don't think we know.
Oh.
I think what you show here, Bill, is just the exposed piece. Is that my understanding?
Right.
Okay, so it's just this, yeah.
So Bill, the proposal or the thinking is, rather than cutting it or removing it, what are your thoughts on plugging the pipe versus removing it, first off? Do you have an opinion on that? Interested in your input.
I really, doesn't matter to me. We can cut it and plug it, we can just plug it at the end, we can do all of those things, we can go talk to the neighbor, but I don't want it to hold up this project any longer. I have no idea what the discussion will be. The neighbor might just be not amenable to doing anything. So, I mean, it's on our property. I understand Brico I's issue, where people always whine to the government to come and solve their problems, but it really is a private dispute if it becomes anything. And it's an existing condition. It's already there. I don't know how long it's been there.
But it's not Brico I, and it's our issue, right? I mean, we're responsible to the residents of the town, and, you know, we don't want to be putting ourselves in a position where we didn't address this issue on behalf of the residents proactively, just for expedience sake. I'm definitely not comfortable with that. You know, so I would say, and we've got to get this resolved, right? I mean, I personally, and I'm not speaking for the commission, we can all speak for ourselves. Personally, I see this as an issue that needs to be resolved before we move forward on this. So, you know, what I would say, and we can confirm, is that as the applicant, you need to talk to the neighbor about this pipe that is coming onto your property and decide what the best move forward is. You can decide the best option. We've made some suggestions. You can plug it, you know, which seems like the easiest solution. You can remove it. And if the neighbor is not amenable to any of those, you can cut it off at the point where it's no longer on your property, and then it's not your problem. You know, hopefully the neighbor is more amenable, but that's, you know, my opinion, and you guys can voice yours. I think we need to do our diligence and resolve that. I don't think it's fair to the neighbor to address the pipe. I don't think it's fair to the future homeowner of this property to have that thing draining into wetlands on his property, and just to not have addressed it. I feel pretty.
Well, then my suggestion is the address will be that we'll plug it. That's the solution.
I
and then
agree
we
with
will go talk, and then we will go talk to the neighbor to see, you know, what we can work out with them. I know there's already been discussions between the current owner of the developer that owns the land and the neighbor next door. So they can just continue on with that particular issue. They might have already talked about it.
All right,
But
so,
if you're looking for a solution, then let's just plug it, and then at some future point, if they decide they want to do something different, then we can come back and ask for a modification from you. If you feel that it's even worth modifying.
we
sounds
just
good.
like confirmation that the neighbor's comfortable with it being plugged before it happens. That's what we're talking about, to be clear.
Well, what does the neighbor have to do with it?
It's on our property.
It's on his
It's-
property, he can do whatever he wants to it, Mark.
So, yes and no, Richard.
If you want to be
So
a real,
it's a pipe dumping
Stickler
into
about it.
a wetlands in a buffer zone. It makes it jurisdictional of the Conservation Commission, right? So technically, we can do what we want with it, right? We've got some jurisdiction over this thing. You know, if we're gonna, you know, play hardball here, you know, who's in charge of this thing? It's the Conservation Commission, because it's in a conservation buffer zone. So I'm not looking to play that card. What I'm trying to say is, look, you know, if the guy who put this pipe in probably thinks the entirety of the pipe is on his lawn. So Bill's gonna go plug it, and this guy's gonna lose his friggin' marbles, right? What are you doing plugging my pipe? I don't think any of us need that to be the result that I think could be somewhat, hopefully more easily resolved by just talking to the guy up front, explaining the situation, the issue, and hopefully he agrees to let us plug it. Or maybe he's got a good reason he's draining stuff there. But I think we've got, you know, if Bill just wants to saw it off and get it out of his property, we're cool with that. But he didn't like that idea, right? So that was the easy button where you don't have to talk to the neighbor. Don't like that? Okay. You're going to do something that impacts the neighbor. It's our jurisdiction. Now I'm saying you got to talk to the neighbor. And again, that's just me, but we can all agree to it. So.
I think I'm not understanding where we're going. So
You've got two
If we-
options.
if we
all right?
cut
Just
it
to
off-
clear it up, Bill, you got two options. You can cut the
Yes.
pipe off at your property line and be done with it, right? Or if you
And
want to
plug
do
it.
something different, which is remove it and plug it, You go to the neighbor, and this is our requirement, and get pre-agreement from them that they are comfortable with you taking those other two motions and confirm that back to us. Those are the two options on the table, and you can pick which one you want.
I would like the first option then. We'll just cut it at the property line and get it off our property. But I will also tell you that we will also talk to the neighbor. I know that there's already discussions going on with the neighbor on this, because as one of you pointed out, the neighbor has already grassed or loamed onto this property, and we've already notified our client. You can clearly see it. So they're discussing, how to deal with that. But I would like to just make this go away tonight. So if your decision is cutting it off at the property line, that to me is the easiest solution for now.
All right,
And then if it changes, then we'll come back.
okay, that's great. That's what we talked about to begin with.
That's cutting it off and the neighbor being notified. Because
Yes.
if he just cuts it off,
Yeah.
it's still an issue.
Okay.
It's basically plugging it, right? Because it's 3 feet down, so.
Well, okay, I guess so ask that question. Is the part we're gonna cut exposed, or I don't know the
It's
answer.
3 feet
What?
down.
And we can put a plug on it when we cut it. We knock it out. We can
Okay.
saw up the end to make it clean, and then put a plug on it, and then it's going to be buried.
The thing's gotta be exposed to be dumping out, right? So I don't know how much of it is exposed, so.
But if he's
But
gonna
we
plug it,
can,
we gotta
we'll
notify.
cut it off and we'll notify the
He
neighbor.
just said plug it.
Yeah.
I was saying, so whether you plug it or not, it's effectively going to be plugged because you got 3 feet of earth, above this pipe.
I guess regardless of the option, the neighbor needs to be notified, because,
Sorry,
Back up.
I see your point. I
yeah,
see your point.
just
I see
notify
your
the
point.
neighbor, which
I
your
understand
intent is,
Yeah.
because they're gonna
Yeah,
have to.
we'll do it certified. We'll CC you so that you know that it's being done.
So I think you made a good point, so you comfortable with that?
Comfortable, so where do we end up? Certified mail to
All
inform.
right, this is where you're at. You are
Go for it.
at cutting the pipe back to the property line, plugging it, backfilling with native soils and reseeding, per applicant site plan, and then notifying neighbor by a certified mail return receipt. That is where you have ended.
Second.
Sounds delicious.
Yep, that's
Second,
good.
no, second me.
All right. So everybody's good with that?
Mhm.
We're good.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm glad we got through that issue.
That was easy.
On the stormwater report, Beta recommended excluding flags B8 through B14, B100, B101, B106, PVP1 through PVP8. Any issue with that?
I think I missed that. So you want to change some of the flags to,
No, they're off property, so we're just excluding
just excluding.
ones
oh,
that
I
are
got it.
off property.
Okay.
Standard finding of fact. So that the people that were not aware that they have a delineation on their property do not get a confirmation of a delineation on their property that they did not adhere to or acknowledge.
So we're talking about the PVP1 and PVP8, and we're just changing the flag numbers on the plan?
You don't need to change the plan, it's just a findings of fact, or fact of findings on the
Got it.
order. Yep.
Okay.
All right. And then inspection of erosion controls, you had stated they were on sheet C2 of the appendix, the stormwater report. I did take a look, they're in there, so you're good on that. A condition requiring contact info of the entity performing the work. and
Did you skip number 2? Just
I was just looking for the way Beta wrote that, so I could
Oh, awesome.
be clear on that.
That would typically be in the final SWIP, once the contractor is chosen. The project manager, all the points of contact will go on to that particular document.
Yep, agreed. It is usually one of the last things I receive, commissioners.
Okay. I can't find.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. It's a B2.
Did you find it?
The comment 2. Yeah, it's on page,
W2?
it's on page 6.
Oh, okay, I went too
It's
far.
resource area boundary and comments, and then the comment is on B2, on page 6. Is that the one you're looking for?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Thanks, Louis.
Yeah.
So we would just add a condition that the presence, absence of isolated land subject to flooding has not been confirmed. So kind of administrative, but again, just like to make sure we're comfortable with all this stuff we're conditioning. No
Okay.
issue, Bill?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. That was all we had. Any other thoughts, questions? Okay. So, we'll write all this up and condition it. There was more we felt we needed to discuss than when we wrapped up last time. I know you were concerned about planning. I know we did reach out to Amy to let her know that at this point, we are looking to go to conditions and a vote, so they're aware of where we are, and I can't say how they're going to respond to that, but our goal was to help, maybe potentially expedite your process there, but we'll be ready to vote next time on the 23rd.
Okay.
Any other thoughts, questions? Comments from the public or on Zoom? All right. With that, Roger, you want to give us a motion to continue the NOI for Symphony Drive Tanglewood Estates to the 23rd at 7:02?
I'll make a motion to continue the NOI for Symphony Drive Tanglewood Estates 2 to April 23rd at 7:02.
Second?
Vote to continue.
Yep.
Continue.
Continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue.
Richard?
Continue.
All right, motion's continued. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Good night.
Night.
All right, the next public hearing we have is the NOI for Lewis Drive. Do we have, is Jojo or the applicant online?
Yes, good evening.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Really good. Just bringing up the, give me a second here. There we go. All right, so we got the transect, which is what we had asked for. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So anything you wanted to add?
No, so I believe at the last meeting, we continued, so 2 meetings ago, there's a little misunderstanding regarding the transect plan and when it was going to be delivered to the commission. Since then, we've visited the site, conducted the 2 transects as indicated on that supplemental plan. The actual design plans before the commission have not been changed, as I believe we agreed that a secondary plan to illustrate this information was adequate.
All right, so we did put together some, that's not the right one, some conditions, but any questions before we get to that? I think we've addressed most of this. The one thing actually we did want to talk about, and we threw a condition together on this, but wanted to talk about it before we get to that point. Not on the most current plans, but on one of the plans, previously you had a material stockpile and storage area within the 50 to 100 foot zone. So which we prefer not to have happen. So our thought to handle that was to have a condition that required any material stockpile and storage either be done on the driveway or the street. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, we would be comfortable with that. The street will be constructed under the view of the DPW, and it is surrounded by sediment and erosion control barriers.
Okay. All right. So with that, Bricolai, do you want to review the conditions?
Sure. So I would recommend approval with standard special conditions 20 through 44, 46 through 51, noting that the stockpile area shall be maintained on a level paved surface. And then special condition 52, the applicant shall provide the Conservation Department and/or Commission with a planting plan / schedule, including the Latin names of all native plants before the building permit sign off. The applicant shall utilize a conservation wildlife mix or like native seed mix for all, or like mix for all native seed mixes, and receive approval of said seed mix by the Conservation Department and/or Commission prior to the building permit sign off. And then special condition 53, the applicant shall provide cross sections demonstrating constructability for sewer and utility connections before building permit sign off.
All right. Any challenges with that?
Is that directed to me?
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry.
No, we would be fine with that. I believe we discussed those things, previously.
Just like to make sure.
Yes, I appreciate that.
All right. Any comments on Zoom? All right. So with that, Michael, you're up. You want to give us a motion to, we're all set, right? Close the public hearing on Lewis Drive.
I'll give you a motion to close the public hearing for the NOI for Lewis Street.
All right.
Second.
All right. Want to give us a
Vote to close.
vote to close?
Close?
Close.
Close?
Close.
Richard?
Close.
All right. And then Louis, you want to give us a motion to approve the NOI for Lewis Drive?
I give you a motion to approve
NOI.
the NOI for Lewis Drive. Thanks.
Second.
All right.
Vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Approve?
Approve.
Approve?
Approved.
Richard?
Approve.
All right. We're all set. The motion is approved. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
All right. And now we're on to the NOI for 47 Partridge Street. Do we have anybody here from 47 Partridge?
They requested a continuance this morning.
Oh.
Actually, Chris Fredder really did.
Okay. All right. Richard, back to you. You want to give us a motion to continue the NOI for 47 Partridge Street to April 23rd? It will now be at 7:04.
Give the motion to continue the NOI for 47 Partridge Street to 4/23/26 at 7:04.
Yeah, because we were at 7:05, we got on the street also at 7:04, right?
I thought we were at 7:03.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is it 7:03?
Oh, yeah.
Continue, 7:03. Yes.
Good catch, Mike.
At 7:03.
Yeah, you're looking at
Yep.
March 26th.
Oh, Jesus, what was I looking at this? Thank you. I was looking at the wrong one. Good catch. Gotta look at this one. Thank you.
Second.
All right. Vote,
Vote to extend?
continue?
Continue.
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 Continue?
Continue.
Richard?
Continue.
All right, motion's continued. Thank you. All right, that concludes our public hearings. We're now on to MBZA's. Our first one is 680 Pleasant Street. You guys are here from 680 Pleasant Street?
Yes.
All right. Okay, Roger.
Hi, thank you.
Hello.
Jesse Fanuelli.
Hi, Jesse.
680 Pleasant Street. Hi.
Hi, I'm Paula Cartney.
Hi, Paula.
680 Pleasant Street.
Nice to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for seeing us.
So it'd be great if you could go through a brief overview of the project.
Yeah, so we are looking to put a small vestibule on the existing concrete patio, an 8x8. It's actually gonna be a little less than that, but that's the approximate dimensions. And what we would need to do is to possibly remove that section of patio or cut out the two furthest corners so that we can put in footings below the frost line in order to then attach the deck to the existing structure. So we're looking to not really disturb anything else, anything that hasn't already been disturbed. We're not looking to create any more impermeable area, but to try to utilize that space for our home. That's the first part of our request. The second part of the request has to do with the front of the home. There is an existing stairs and a 29-foot walkway. The stairs come out from the house about almost 6 feet. They're quite steep. So in any time of emergency, it would be pretty difficult actually to get down there. Our proposal would be to remove the existing stairs, also remove the existing walkway, and replace the stairs with something that's perhaps a little bit bigger, again, for, to have a comfortable tread and rise on these, and then, aesthetically probably having just a small landing at the very bottom. So I'm thinking coming out of the house, maximum 10 feet. Whereas now, there's about, how much, I did my numbers. There's about 166 square feet of impermeable area. So by removing the walkway and extending those stairs, there'll be about 100 feet of permeable area back to that front yard. What kind of questions can we answer for you?
Anybody want to start?
So you're looking to, so the backside there is, it's already, it's a deck, or existing deck, you're just
It's an
expanding.
existing patio. The part that we would be,
Patio.
the part that has the flagstone, that's probably been there for 50 years. And we would be looking to, this has all been, it's kind of a moving thing to determine the height of the new deck that we have to put in. What I mean by deck is the floor, like basically floor joists. You know, would be perhaps to have to remove that patio completely, which would allow us a little bit more height for the new structure that we're building, so that we're not dealing with trying to match perfectly the existing height of the not the roof line, the floor of the existing structure.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I would request, is to be able to remove that. You know, if I can do less, then I'll do less, but it may require, the project might require that removal, which I hadn't previously stated on the application. I had just mentioned cutting out the four corners, but it may require more than that.
Yeah. So you'll find out once you start digging
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So for the front side, you're looking to remove the walkway and the steps. So essentially, your entrance is going to be in the back now. You're not even using the front.
We don't really
We
use
don't,
the
we don't use the front, right.
Okay.
It is an emergency exit,
Okay.
yeah.
What do you,
Because it goes to the main street, it goes to Pleasant Street, it
Yeah,
really kind of
yeah.
goes to nowhere.
this is across from Acorn, right? Or is it
Correct.
close to
Yeah, it's
that
at the corner
area?
of Pleasant and Green.
Yeah. I think I drive by this place a lot.
Yeah.
It's,
A lot of people do.
it's heading to Norfolk.
Did you see the car over the edge the other 2 weeks ago,
On the
3 weeks ago?
guardrail?
No, I saw,
There was a Cadillac who went right through the guardrail
Yeah.
oh, okay.
and hung over into the stream. It was an amazing sight.
No.
They had to bring in a crane, a truck with a crane to lift it out.
Because
Yeah.
this is a stream, right? Like in front of your property?
It is a
So
stream,
that's-
yeah.
It's a,
Mhm.
so once you,
Yeah,
no, I've seen my fair crashes. I actually saw one like 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
Down my,
Oh.
you know, the corner pond, which
Yeah.
wasn't good. So so for the walkway there at the front, you're taking it out, and you're just gonna seed it, grass it,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
potentially, okay. Any fertilizer?
No, I honestly don't like grass, but, you know, I want to do whatever we can to control the erosion there.
Okay.
Because with the condition of basically, we don't want to create any more erosion because our land is falling into that area
Okay.
due to the disrepair of the walls right along that stream.
Along that river.
So, no, I mean, we'd probably do something native grass, clover, those kinds of things,
Okay.
yeah.
What kind of equipment would be used to remove the patio in the back?
The patio in the back, yeah, great question. Probably some sort of wet saw.
Okay, so it's just gonna be, you're not gonna have like big machinery?
I am really hoping not to, because we try to do anything on this house with as little heavy machinery as possible. Yeah, no, it's a great question.
I think they can come in right from, well,
I mean,
or we can come in right from the driveway,
We can come in
too.
from the driveway as well, and
Sorry.
I mean, I did a kind of outline, you know, an area on the map, on the plan saying, you know, that we may be disturbing some of the existing grass that is there, and just with the nature of the construction. So, if you're looking at the back door on the picture, that area to the right of the stones and the lamppost is grass. And so that, I think, probably would be disturbed, and we would then reseed. Thank you.
Just quick question. So you've got the 50 and 100-foot buffer marked on there, not the 25-foot buffer?
Correct. This was from plans for the septic that was put in back in '05 from the previous owner.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're just showing, okay, I got you.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Kind of follow up to Nicole's question, but in the front. So what do you anticipate equipment-wise to remove the sidewalk there?
Yeah, actually, we plan to remove it, so I'm thinking sledgehammer.
Oh, by hand?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Or like
More
a
than likely.
motorized, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Bosch hammer drill that, you know,
And it's
we
not
like
the
to play
entire
with.
patio, it's just the part.
No, in the front.
Oh, in the
walkway
front, oh, gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That's great, actually. So, yeah, that's, I mean, that's likely in the 25, but I think that's an improvement, right? So, okay.
yeah, so, yeah, our goal is definitely to do it by, to remove this.
Okay,
Remove this walkway by hand.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Two questions I want to throw at you.
Yes.
So, we go through a mapping program called GIS.
Okay,
Just helps us look and see where the wetlands are from
Yep.
a DEP standpoint. It's got some historical imagery. It does appear that, I don't know how long you guys have been there, but a structure, one of the reasons I asked about the 25-foot buffer, it does appear between 21 and 23, there's no digital imagery, no satellite imagery from 22, that a structure was built within the 25-foot buffer zone. It just I can't tell what it is, just shows a structure showed up. Wasn't there in 21, but it was there in 23.
I see.
So our concern is,
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of this, so I mean, this could be educational.
Yeah,
The 0 to 25-foot, what we call buffer zone, right? Anything from the wetlands to 25 feet out is what we call a no-touch.
okay.
Really, no activity should happen there. There's variance procedures, right? So there's a conversation, but, you know, putting a structure up in any of these buffer zones, and you're here today, right? You're doing the right thing.
Yep, yep.
At some point, it looks like somebody built a fairly sizable structure within the 25-foot buffer zone.
I was not aware that we were in the 25-foot buffer zone, and I built that.
Okay,
Yeah.
understandable. Also looks like there's some tree work done, some limb removal on a tree that was right next, I drove by the site, I
Yep.
got the Adirondack Club.
Yep.
Right next to the stream, again, that would be activity within the 25-foot.
So even for limb removal? Okay.
Yeah, if you're doing work, any kind of work in the
Okay.
0-20. And what we ask is then you come in, now, what we're going to suggest
Yes.
is that we amend the MBZA, right? So we can,
Okay.
all of this work was permitted. We view this as educational
Yeah, thank
opportunity.
you. Mhm.
People don't know
Thank
that. But that's why it would have been good to have, and I'm assuming it's in the 25, don't know, but I think we can make an educated.
The tree?
The tree certainly is, but
Yes.
the structure looks
Right,
like
and
it might be as
I mean,
well.
yes,
So,
yeah, well, again, right.
Got it. And then the follow-up question is there any other stuff you plan to do that would potentially be in those buffer zones? Because what we ought to do is try and just get everything on the permitting.
Understood.
If you got nothing immediate, that's okay, but we do ask that if
Yep.
you're going to do stuff, that it comes before us so we can permit it.
Right.
Right, okay. So, you know, that, if you look in the back, I don't know if you have this,
Yeah.
the plan of the septic?
Yep.
old Septic?
The one you submitted.
The one I submitted,
Yep.
yeah. So there is the area with the leaching field and the tanks, which constantly loses soil. So we were hoping to regrade that and have clover and grass planted. You know, we had discussed putting up a retaining wall, but I also understand the difficulties with that. Because right at if you draw a perpendicular line from the right front corner of the house, that's where there's a big slope, and it dips right down towards the stream there, and that's where I would have liked, I don't know, we were in discussion with a landscaper about this, about, putting some large boulders there, for instance. Not digging down into the ground, but putting boulders there.
So you do have a lot more flexibility. That's in the 50 to 100-foot zone. There's a lot more flexibility there.
No, this is actually within the 50 to 25 zone.
Oh, okay.
With the right front corner
Oh,
of the
the
house.
septic tank. Oh, okay, I was
Yeah.
looking at the field. I got you. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. And because of that slope, I was hoping to put in landscaping stairs down to that existing shed.
So, I mean, you do have, so the way, and this is all
Okay.
local regulation and bylaw,
Okay,
you know, there is some consideration given for stormwater management system components is the way it's listed. And that includes lawns, gardens, other low-impact uses as determined by the commission or otherwise approved by the commission. So, you know, if what you're saying is, it sounds like you've got an erosion problem there.
correct.
I mean, we're typically pretty interested in helping to see that mitigated as well. You know, so I don't know, Bricolai, if you might have more of an opinion on a solution in that regard.
All right, I was doubly muted on laptop. As far as a permitting solution, I mean, an MBZA would be fine. It really just depends, and I think, Jesse, we've talked about this. It just depends on the scope of work. So if we're
Right.
looking to significantly grade, right, I mean, how large is that area? If we're just bringing in superficial boulders or landscaping materials, I mean, that's an MBZA, if that, depending on what it is.
Okay,
If it's less than 150 square feet, then I maintain administrative authority to just give you the approval, then the commission ratifies the decision. So it's really dealer's choice at this point. You let me know what star you want and maybe you get the moon.
I see what you're saying. I mean, you know, it's difficult with a backyard with a leaching field.
Right.
You know, and we are at the bottom of that slope from all of Green Street. We get a lot of runoff coming down our way.
You got like 30 feet of grade there, right, from top to bottom? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I guess in our dreams, we have talked about a patio in the backyard, something that you know, it's not concrete, but it's stone. I don't even know if, is that something that's possible?
And that wouldn't be in the 25.
No, that would be between the
Farther
50 and 100. That would be,
Yeah, so that's probably.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Bricolai, I think we're okay with a patio in the 50 to 100, right? Yeah. I don't see an issue with that, so,
With like a little fire pit.
yeah. Yeah, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, you've got, you know, increasing amounts of flexibility
Yeah,
as you
okay.
go out.
Right.
You know, what I would say, it sounds like you haven't decided about I'm just not putting words in your mouth, but the erosion grading around the septic. But, you know, when you do,
Yeah.
I mean, we'd be, I would think, very amenable, at least to discussing erosion mitigation
Okay.
in that area. So if you wanted to do an MBZA around that,
Okay.
you know, we would, or if you think you have decided, we can talk more about it now, but it sounds like that's a future plan.
It's,
Have
again,
more-
it's all, well, it's something that we've discussed.
Right.
It's just, we're trying to put certain projects, what's most important,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And so,
The timing of everything.
the timing of everything is something else too. Yeah, so, I mean, ultimately, you know, I think it would be better not to waste anybody's time here, for us to offer a second MBZA. At another time,
Yeah.
that would include landscaping stairs, the
Mitigating.
the retaining wall of stone or whatever we decide, the boulders, and the patio area.
All right.
I think that would be Does that seem reasonable to you all?
That's what I was
Okay.
Yeah.
thinking too. But,
Okay.
so it's just good to talk it through. And
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
appreciate it, yeah.
Thanks.
so, okay.
Because it seems like there's a lot more scope that you guys are planning to do, so.
Correct.
I think if you capture it all, or at least we can have a discussion on what that is too, when it comes to the layout of this. I think one thing, and it's good, a lot of the applicants don't have a drawing to reference, so it's good that you presented it this way.
Okay.
I think
Very helpful.
if, I guess if next time you come up to present, it would be nice to have like the existing features in there. Like you said, you talked about a shed or.
Yes.
So, things like that, that way we can kind of see.
Sure.
In relation to,
Sure,
that way we
we-
get
we-
what do you call, like a current existing drawing of what is, because right now it's, if it's like an MBZA, you just mark up whatever reference
Yep.
drawing you have, which is the septic, tank that was put in 2005, so.
Yep.
Something more, that has more information would be helpful.
Okay, will do. Thank you for the feedback.
Yep.
Any other thoughts or?
Erosion controls?
Nicolai, you have an opinion on erosion controls?
Yeah, I mean, the grade is kind of flat there. Would you, yes, I think it would be prudent to put something down by the, yeah, just a piece of wattle is fine.
Yep.
Commissioners, you can discuss type. In some instances, for de minimis projects like this, you've even suggested a burlap sack rolled up.
Okay.
So you mitigate the straw, but you still get the berm.
All right, so either burlap or straw. Yep.
Probably not straw, because straw will probably go in the brook, and then Norfolk is gonna have more straw. That's what's gonna happen.
Nobody wants
I
that.
would, my preference would be burlap.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
then roll it up.
Yep.
You would want it probably about a foot high if you can get there. I know it's gonna compress. And then just make sure that any sediment or leaves or anything is less than half of the height, whatever that height comes to be.
Yep.
So Nicolai, just procedurally, right, we wanted to, I think, retroactively include the structure and the tree limb removal. We just do that verbally to amend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody feel the need, any further questions on that? Okay. That way we're making sure everything that's been done is permitted, so, okay.
We appreciate your grace on that, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to help and educate, right? I mean,
Yep.
You came here tonight, clearly you're trying to do the right thing, we appreciate that, so. All right, so with that, who's up? Is it Louis again?
I did that. I'll do it again, that's fine.
I think it's either Louis or Matt.
I'll take the Matt, don't worry about it, I got this. I'll give you a motion to continue the MBZA.
No, approve.
Approve the MBZA for 680 Pleasant Street.
With the amendments for the
Amendments for the.
structure and the tree.
And the
limit.
tree removal.
All right,
I'll give you a second.
all right.
Vote to approve.
Approve?
Approve.
Vote to approve.
Approve.
Richard?
Is he still-
He's muted.
He's last sleep.
Double muted too.
Approve.
All right.
All right. Thank you again.
Yeah,
Thank you for
appreciate you
sharing
coming in.
and
Good
educating
job
us.
with the information. This was helpful to look through, so you did a nice job.
Okay, good,
Thanks.
great,
That was good.
great.
Okay. Good luck with all your projects.
We're gonna need it. Go to CBA next, so, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got good weather now, so.
Yeah, right? All right, take care, y'all.
Bye-bye. All right, and,
Do we need to get Roger back?
oh yeah, send Roger in.
While we're waiting for Roger, I double mute because there was one time during a ZBA meeting that I was only partially muted, one level of mute, and they unmuted me and you could hear maple apparently on TV, because I got a text from Mark and Louie that Maple said hi to everybody. So that is why I double mute.
I kind of liked it, but.
She's always welcome to these meetings.
Well, thank you.
All right. Welcome back, Roger. Thank you. The next MBZA is for 58 Daniels Street. Do we have anybody here from 58 Daniels? Hello, Chris.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yep,
Hi, how are we doing?
great.
I don't know if you can see me, but if you can hear me, I guess it's good enough.
Well, we see your name, but that's what we got.
We can.
Yeah,
But we can hear you.
I'm not that tech savvy, so,
All right. We've got your
Start
plan
my
up.
videos.
Just want to give us a brief talk through on the project. Oh, there you are.
there we go.
All right.
Yes, hi. Proposing to do a 14 by 20-foot shed on the opposite side of my pool, and it's kind of kissing out on the edge of the 100-foot buffer zone. It's about 75 square feet, I believe, give or take, into the 100-foot buffer zone.
So probably the captain obvious question. I mean, assume, well, I don't want to assume, but is the placement there so that it abuts up against what I assume would be a patio, a pool patio or something along those lines?
That is correct. It's on the fire, yes, correct. There's already a patio around the pool, correct. That's an existing pool.
Okay. All right. That's the only question I had. Richard, anything good?
I'm good with it.
All right. All right. Nicole, you want to give us a motion to approve the MBZA for 58 Daniel Street?
Give you a motion to approve the MBZA for 58 Daniel Street.
Second.
Vote to approve.
Approve?
Approve.
Approve?
Approve.
Approve.
Richard?
Approve.
All right. Chris, thanks for coming in. You're all set.
All right, thank you very much, guys, for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it.
Brinka, thank you for your help. Appreciate it.
All right. So then we go to the final MBZA, which is 8 Cardinal Drive. Anybody here from 8 Cardinal Drive?
Yes, I am.
All right. Looks like you're taking down a couple trees.
Yes, that was what I was proposing. I think it was around St. Patrick's Day. There was a large windstorm that took down a large pine tree. Came close to a shed, but there was no structural damage. That led me to want to have a couple of other similar pines evaluated by the folks that were providing estimates. They determined that one of them showed signs of rot. It was a bifurcated trunk that Rika came over and checked out, as well as what appears to be a healthier looking pine. However, there were concerns brought up by the tree removal experts that by removing the potentially, rotting tree, that it would leave this other pine more exposed. Years ago, we had a tree that fell on the porch, and thankfully my wife had left the porch 5 minutes prior, so it seems that the area behind my home is certainly susceptible to trees falling, as I think Brinkley could attest to.
All right. And you're good with leaving the stumps in place, right, based on the narrative you supplied?
That's right. Yeah, there's no issue with that. That will save money on my end and, keep the land in, stable place.
And I think you're going to be able to get a deed from a crane from the driveway?
That's correct.
All right, sounds pretty.
They're also going to be bringing in equipment to remove the fallen tree that's not necessarily in the 25-foot zone. So
Okay.
that was not part of the application because it's already been fallen.
Okay. All right. Roger, since you're back, you want to give us a motion to approve the MBZA for 8 Cardinal Drive?
I'll make a motion to approve the MBZA for 8 Cardinal Drive.
Second?
All right.
Vote to approve.
Approve.
Approve?
Approve.
Approve.
Richard?
Approved.
All right. You're approved. Thanks a lot.
Great, I appreciate your time and your attention on this. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in and putting the information together.
Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right. So that takes care of our MBZA's. We did the permit modification. We got the minutes. Anybody have any comments on the minutes? All right. Richard, you want to give us a motion to approve the minutes for March 26th?
You bet. I'd like to give you a motion to approve the minutes for the March 26, 2026 meeting.
Second.
All right.
Vote to approve.
Approve.
Approve?
Approve?
Approve.
All right.
Approve.
They're approved. So then we're on to discussions. Budget meeting discussion, as we talked about, the finance committee's got meetings, and I don't know if you've seen on Zoom or on TV, that move meetings all week. So there will be a meeting coming up where the Conservation Commission budget will be discussed. And one thing that's come up, and Bricolai typically handles that presentation, but they've invited any boards or groups associated with town employees to attend, which would include us. So we can all attend as a group, since we won't be deliberating, it wouldn't break open meeting laws, but could be a good opportunity to be there and understand what's going on and show some support. So Bricolai, I think you were going to maybe try and get us times and dates, and if some or all of us could make it, it just was an idea.
Yes, so they don't have, it's the joint budget subcommittee, and they don't have times or dates posted yet.
Yeah, okay. A lot going on if you've watched those meetings.
I will say, just for your knowledge, it's not your budget. They can't touch your budget.
Good point.
It is my budget. And as Jamie eloquently put, and as most people know now, with me being reduced hours, I have no benefits, so I saved the town money because now there's no healthcare credit. See, no, I say I'm already in good graces. Is that arrogant to say? That's my argument. I rest my case. But yes, Jamie has said it would be good for boards, commissions to come out, committees as well, to come out and provide support for their respective departments in light of the current climate in Franklin.
All right. So that's budget. Earth Day, we're a week from this Saturday. So we actually picked up the seedlings yesterday that we're going to have available. So that's good. So we've got those on hand. Is it Maria that's chairman of the Ag Committee?
Laura.
Oh, boy, I got that.
Close.
Holy. So we've got set to have space and do that with the Ag Committee. Richard, some reason it's stuck in my mind that you might have our official table. Is that accurate?
I do. I've been keeping very good care of it in my garage.
Tender, loving care of the table?
Yeah.
So we'll want that, right, if you can bring it. Laura bought some materials for bee boxes. I think Bricolai is working on some stuff for bee boxes. Laura mentioned, this was kind of cool, I didn't remember this, or I knew and forgot, that they're going to use one of their tractors to shuttle people back and forth to Riverbend for the tour, so that's kind of cool. So we're looking in pretty good shape. Louis did the flyer, we got the flyer out. I think that's kind of the deal, so we should be in good shape.
I have a comment, if you don't mind.
Please.
I wanted to update the commission on the forestry demonstration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Tom Ashton and I will be out at Riverbend next Wednesday felling, about 2 trees. It's in stand number 4. Unfortunately, my laptop is acting funky with Zoom and trying to show things, so I can ask for your trust. I can send you the map via email, but it is in stand number 4. It's an upland area. We're not next to the river by any means, and we're not within a wetland or a buffer zone. We'll be felling about 2 or 3 trees, if you're okay with that. Trees will be decided upon site visit. We are looking for degraded trees or trees that we see when we often approve MBZAs. So those that would be deemed hazardous, but they're not hazardous because they're out in the woods. We would be creating brush piles for habitat to show and demonstrate to everybody on Saturday, and then taking tree cores. Tom Ashton did send an invoice for the work on Wednesday. I'm sorry, let me go back. Felling these trees, as I've mentioned before, would open up the canopy, and then we would do a planting in an understory on Saturday. So we are clearing the space to be able to do so, to create more biodiversity. That said, Tom Ashton has provided an invoice for $350 to do the work on Wednesday, and then he will donate his time on Saturday. So I'm seeking approval from the commission for the work that was approved in the forest stewardship plan, which has been approved already, to go forward, and then approval of the invoice. And while you deliberate or ask questions, I can try to pull this up again.
So we good with the 350? Okay.
I'm good.
Richard, you're good? Yep, okay. So that's good.
Sorry, I'm logging back into VPN to see if that changes the issue.
Yeah, so I think we're in pretty good shape. Liberty Way, what were we talking about on Liberty Way?
That they need new wet signatures. They lost the original. Unfortunately, I don't believe Matthew Stoltz or Nicole can sign that.
Okay.
So, it's just, I'm sorry, I think it's Louis. Do you recall who voted on 15 Liberty Way? That was the project commissioners that was in front of us for about a year and a half, and there was discussion about a basin being jurisdictional or not, and then they wanted to completely revamp it and change its status. Whoever remembers that project can sign. That is that. So that's all. You're not reissuing the permit. Essentially, you're just re-signing a wet signature page so they can record it at the registry.
All right.
And with that, I'm still trying to pull up the forest stewardship plan, but I'm close.
Wouldn't
Oh, this was
the
before.
one we signed already, that must be on record, so that would tell us who can sign this one? No?
Yes, Tyler would have that.
Okay.
Tyler.
I gotta wrap it after a meeting.
Yeah, I think this might have been before me.
I think it might be everyone except for Matt/Jeff Livingston at the time, but I'll catch back in this.
Yeah, I remember this.
Looks like we last did it in January of '05, right?
Oh, fine.
Oh, no, I mean, not '05, I'm sorry, '25. Yeah, I was.
Does it show the document? I've already shut my computer.
Yeah, I'm looking here, but I don't think it has the signature page. Yeah, went through February.
Probably have to go through the minutes.
We approved it on 20 February.
Who signed?
25.
There you go. Wow. Now that's the drive right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before us from July of 24 to February of 25. And actually, sorry, October
October 24 through.
of 23, I think.
Wow.
They had to resubmit because of
Yeah.
quorum issues.
30 May, was the first new meeting. No, July was the first new meeting.
Impressive.
Well done, Michael. I appreciate your notes.
Nice job.
So this is stand 4, commissioners at Riverbend. So I would imagine Tom and I will stay somewhere in here close to the trails.
Nikolai, where's the parking lot on that map that you have now?
Over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Lincoln.
All right, thank you.
This is that. That's the parking. Yeah.
Pre-collises?
Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say stand 4 actually has some infected beech trees, so I actually haven't asked Tom yet if we could just fell the beech trees instead, which is sad for me, but necessary. What was your question?
Has there been any talk at all of taking down the dam there underneath Lincoln Street or Sanford Street or whatever? I guess it's Sanford Street right there.
Going into Medway?
Yes.
Yes.
There was talk about that, wasn't there?
There is talk about there. So there's 2 dams that go to Medway. Medway technically Medway owns one of them.
The
other one is in a private ownership, haven't paid taxes. Mark Sorrell knows far more than I do. That he said from a legality standpoint, it's too much for the town to take ownership of at this point in time. So it is sitting between Franklin and Medway, and nobody's touching it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
A couple of-
But there's been plenty of talk to try and remove both of the 2 dams that are on the Charles between Franklin and Medway. So, yeah,
That'd be
that is where
great.
that is.
Park's cheap.
But that's all I had from me.
Could I ask a question?
Oh, wait, yes.
The new battery backup or whatever it is in Bellingham, isn't that right on the town line as well?
It's not in Franklin.
I understand that.
So my clarification is it's not on the town line, because if it was, it would be in Franklin as well.
Okay,
So it's completely in Bellingham.
thank you.
Yeah.
Do you see Max's from the town council post?
I did.
Yeah, I thought that some of the comments were pretty
Yeah.
interesting, or, I don't know, I guess informative, no way to validate them, but it was interesting stuff, right? So.
Could I just quick rewind to the forestry demonstration? Are you okay with that proposed work, even though it is high level and stand 4?
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, so one other thing that we thought we'd just post people on, so we did go over to 440 Central Street with Mass DEP today, and the applicant to tour the property, and some of the abutters and appellants, right, the people challenging the case were there. They had hired a stormwater consultant. I don't think we got a completely good grip on his certifications.
He's not a PE.
There you go.
I confirmed that. He's not a
Okay,
PE.
all right. So at any rate, the guy's got some stormwater knowledge. He's done some work. So they're challenging our decision on the basis of 3 points. One is some stormwater calculations, and that's what this guy's role was. Roughly speaking, he feels that some calculations showing what the cubic feet of water would be on a 100-year flood. He assessed the data on one of the infiltration basins, so not the whole property, but he figures it extrapolates. But it was like 69,000 roughly square feet of water would be what would go into this infiltration basin in a 100-year flood, and the thing could only redistribute about a third of that, and his contention is that the balance, this is a very broad generalization, it just gives you an idea. His feeling is that would overflow the infiltration basin and cause downstream flooding. So that's point number one, that he had not reviewed any of the information from Beta, where a lot of this was examined by our third-party peer reviewer. So he's getting ready to do that, and DEP will do the same. And that's data science and math, right? It could be a difference of opinion, but at the end of the day, that will be analyzed. So that was point one. The other point was that the abutters felt like our assessment of the condition of some of the riverfront, which we assessed, or I shouldn't say we assessed, but that we agreed was degraded, they were not comfortable with that it was, that as much as we thought was degraded actually was in that condition. If you recall, the applicant had proposed a significantly larger amount of the riverfront as degraded, and that was backed down significantly. The abutters are challenging that what remained was still too much, and that the condition should not be viewed as degraded, and that the work that was, so that was one component of that challenge. The other component is, even if it is degraded, that the work that's being done within that degraded area does not represent improvements to that, right, which is one of the primary threshold for doing work in riverfront. If it's degraded, you're improving it, you can do the work. Throughout the process, and by basis of approving the permit, we assess the work as an improvement. And then the third piece is concerns around what the stormwater issues could do to the well that's in that vicinity. I think when we looked at that, we didn't feel that was necessarily jurisdictional, so we didn't take that on. So those are the three challenges. The guy from DEP looked at the riverfront, assessed it, took pictures, no go back. He seemed to think that they'll have a decision sometime around the 2-month mark. So just kind of where it stands. I don't know if you got it. Louis was there, Bricolai was there.
No, I think you touched upon all the points that, were being challenged at. I mean, we did the site walk with DEP, the applicant, and then we saw, nothing really further to add with that. So, there was new information that was presented by the stormwater guy. He said it's, but he presented it at the time we were there meeting, so it's nothing we've seen. It was brand new to me. So, but again, I would say that a lot of the information that we've, that came across us was reviewed, peer reviewed, and we've had when the flood study came about, you know, when they changed this FEMA, the zones, you know, they went back and then, you know, they also, you know, I think initially, before that, flood zone had changed, basically bringing the third party was, you know, that additional reviewer was not there at the time. And then, but we did have that on top of, you know, so there was people that were reviewing that for sure, and people that have been around, you know, around to do this, so really nothing much to add.
And actually, it was cubic feet of water, sorry, not square feet. You don't have a square foot of water,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
But at any rate, Bricolite, anything to add?
No.
Okay. So, at least wanted to keep you guys posted, and we'll see what DEP comes back with.
So if DPE says, no, we were right, is that the end of it, or does it go on?
Good question. We asked, the guy from DEP, his name was Tom, just, you know, so we asked Tom that question. So he'll issue a finding, and if he supports it, that decision is challengeable. The next step is they have an in-house judicial process where that decision will be reviewed. The applicants, or appellants, I'm sorry, would need to submit evidence supporting the appeal and the challenge to the decision. Once that ruling's made, that ruling can then also be challenged to land court. So those are the potential steps. But you know, and hey, I mean, anything's possible. The guy Tom said that, you know, and I'm probably paraphrasing here, you know, you need to present evidence as to why, say, a DEP decision was incorrect. So at any rate, well, yeah, we were curious, so we asked the same thing.
So Magnolia, is it Magnolia Heights Bricolage?
Madeline Village.
Well, okay, that went on for years and years and years. Could this?
It's still going on.
Still going on. Can same thing happen here?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, there, you know, as Tom admitted, but he didn't. Yes, potentially it could. Potentially it could. Yeah.
I think where we diverge from Madeline Village with a potential hypothetical pathway for this project is that Madeline Village was a denial, and the court right now, which is very housing friendly, is telling DEP and the applicant to work it out, because DEP supported Conservation Commission's denial, which is 100% founded in legal truth. This project for 444 was an approval, not a denial. It is a permittable project. I professionally maintain that it's a permittable project, or it was permitted, right? I'm not saying it's a good project. I'm just saying it's a permittable project. There's a difference. And so if this were to ever go to court, you're still in the same politically driven court that is pro-housing. So I actually think, even if it may get drawn out, I think it might be a slightly shorter turnaround time than Madeline Village. Madeline Village is going on 5-6 years now. This, I don't know, maybe a couple years. But there's no, Madeline Village, you know, they needed a plan change. I don't know if this project would get a plan change.
Because the longer it draws on, not that it affects us, but the more the project will end up costing.
Time is money, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The material, yeah.
People will likely get sued. Yes. Yes.
Special.
All right. Any other questions? Richard, you got your hand up, or you're just waving at us?
Just waving at you.
Okay. All right. With that, I think we're a wrap.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, all right. Louis, you want to give us a motion to adjourn?
Yep, I give you a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
I'll second that.
All right.
Aye.
See you, Richard. Freak alive,
All
thanks.
right, get well, Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recording stopped.